If you've spent any time on social media at all in the last decade, you'll be fully aware that the world is now flooded with a myriad of coaches, teachers, guides, books, courses, all offering something which sounds quite magical: transformation. This program, this book, this course is going to be the thing that helps you to live your dream life. But if you actually have a look around the world, how many people are living their dream life? How many times has that promise that somebody bought into been fulfilled? I can answer the question for you here. Very little. It's very rare. What normally happens is people invest in something, they get involved in something which offers something incredible at the end. It doesn't happen, they get disenfranchised, and they go to the next thing. Which means they're continuously chasing something which they just can't get their hands on. Now, why is this? Of course, there's always a situation where you have a dishonest, unscrupulous teacher who's just very good at talking, but doesn't sell anything of any value. But let's not consider those. Let's look at the teachers that are fantastic, the books that are wonderful, the courses and the programs that really do set out to do a wonderful job for you. Why are they not enlightening the world? What's happening there? Well, I can explain this to you because there is a when you understand what I'm about to share with you, it's like the elusive obvious. You start to understand that's why that didn't work. That's why that didn't change my life. That's why that didn't transform me. And it's this. It's very simple. But let me explain a couple of things so we can really get talking here. As a human being, there are millions of things that you can engage with in life. And let's say we were to class each of those things as a game. We could then say there are loads of games that you could play. You could play the fame game. You could play the career game, you could play the parenthood game, you could play the athletics game, you could play the academia game. There are so many. And those that I mentioned there, as with most of them, are optional. No one's forcing you to be a parent. No one's forcing you to be famous. But there are four games that all of us must play. If you're a human being, you're playing these games. What are they? There's the health game. If you don't make time for health, you have to make time for sickness at some point. There is the wealth game. If you don't make time for abundance, you have to make time for scarcity at some point. There is the relationship game. If you don't make time for connection, you have to make time for isolation at some point. And there is the meaning game. If you don't make time for joy, you will have to make time for suffering at some point. Now, why do I mention those four games now? Because that's where people struggle. That's where people feel their pain. My health is terrible, I wish it was better. I haven't got enough money, I wish I could do the things I want to do. Where is the love of my life? I thought I was going to meet them. Where's the meaning? That's like 90% of what people seek to fix in the personal development industry, right there in those four areas. But I introduce those to you now because you watching this, you've probably read a health book, a wealth book, a relationship book, or something which helps you find your meaning in the past. But there is a key aspect of those four games that is missed by the entire industry. It is something that I uncovered with my team around 15 months ago and have spent the last 15 months dedicating ourselves to working through with multiple test groups of students to really consolidate what we're looking at. Now, let me explain this to you. If we consider that we have those four games, we have health, wealth, relationships, meaning. Excuse my handwriting, please. Now, if we have these four games, it looks like that's easy to play. You know, I can go and get a health coach, and the health coach is going to tell me what I need to do to be healthy. But here is the missing piece. Now, please listen up, because this is fundamental. Every single one of these games has a set of metrics which determine whether you are successful. We call those metrics keys. Now, let's focus on health. Health has 8 keys. These are the 8 metrics of success. What does that mean? If you're a professional sports person, you're like Cristiano Ronaldo, Serena Williams, somebody like this, it's going to be important to you that you are 10 out of 10 in all of these different areas in relation to physical health. Why? Because you want to compete at the peak. So you need this to be perfect. Myself, I'm not an athlete, but I do like to stay strong and stay healthy. So for me, I might not consider all 8 of these keys to be important. It might be just 4 of them. My nan, my lovely little old nan, who's in her senior years now, she may look for two: sustainability and autonomy, because that allows her to grow old with her freedom and her grace. So she might then just go for two. Do you see that problem? If me, Cristiano Ronaldo, and my nan are all looking for a health coach, we can't get the same health coach. If Cristiano Ronaldo and me go to the health coach that helps my nan, we're going to be completely disenfranchised. It's not going to be enough for us. If me and my nan go to Cristiano Ronaldo's coach, there's going to be way too much for us. And this is it, guys. Because every health coach, wealth coach, relationship coach, and meaning coach that exists that is promoting a book, a course, or a program, do you know what they're saying? Hey, I've figured out a way to win this game, and if you kind of sign up with me, I'll show you how I did it. Brilliant, great, and they've probably got the best intentions. But if winning that game for them meant that they knew how to activate these keys, but winning that game for you means activating these keys, they're not the teacher for you, and you won't know why. You'll go into their program, you won't get the results you want, you'll become disenfranchised, you'll blame yourself, and then you'll stop trying. And that's where most of the people who come into the personal development industry seeking transformation sit, because regardless of the best intentions of coaches in all of these areas, unless they understand the keys of each game, there is no way in being able to determine with accuracy whether they're the coach for you. Does that make sense? Outstanding. Now, each of these games has their own set of keys, between 8 and 10 keys in each instance. And if you are truly looking for transformation, understanding these keys and understanding what they mean is essential. When you know what keys are important to you, you can design a blueprint for every single one of these games, which is personally tailored and designed for you so that you get where you want to get in life based upon you. It's complete personalization of your life blueprint. Now, how is this different to other courses? I think I've explained it in quite a lot of depth here, but the reason this is different, and let me say it in a unique way. I am not teaching you the way that I win health. I am not teaching you the way that I win wealth, the way that I win relationships, or the way that I win meaning, because the way that I win it and my strategy is personalized to me. And because I've done that job well, it works fantastically. What I want to guide you through is how to understand this structure so that you can create your own life plans. There isn't a book out there, a course out there, a program out there that will give you the perfect life plan because you're unique. The only one that can give you the perfect life plan is you. And if you get all of these things dancing together, and all of a sudden you're healthier than you've been, you're wealthier than you've ever been, your relationships are stronger than they've ever been, and you have more meaning in your life, everything improves. Everything improves. Now, like I say, I've been working with my team for the last 15 months and a couple of test groups of students really to consolidate the details of this, but really to look at understanding what kind of impact this can have in a person's life. So let me tell you what that looks like. If you were to go through a process of understanding the keys of the games with me, it's not a 6-month, 12-month, 5-year process where you're crossing your fingers and hoping that one day everything's going to be good. No, this is 6 weeks. This is, we go through 6 weeks working very closely with each other to understand you and what these are. And you know what? I've created tools for that as well. Because for each of these games, we have a 40-question questionnaire. And we've designed a wonderful algorithm behind that, which then processes those answers and gives us this accurate report of exactly where you are in relation to each game. So before you and I get onto a one-on-one call to talk about, let's say, health, you've completed a 40-point questionnaire. It's produced a deep report, which is based upon the keys. I give you that report, and we get on our call and we work through it together. At the end of that call, you know exactly why your health is where it is, exactly why you're either winning or not winning in the most in every single area, and you know what to do next. You will leave every single call that we have with a bespoke blueprint for each of the games. Now, after that, you can do what you want. After that, you can go and sign up for any other course, any other program. Of course you can. But here's the thing. You'll understand this, because when you see this, you can't unsee it. So it means that every book or course or program that you ever buy again in the future after you've done this course will be perfectly suited to you. Never again will you waste time, energy, and money signing up for something that isn't going to fit your picture. Now, I would imagine that when you feel into this, There's probably one of these areas of life that you're really comfortable with, that you're really good at. There's probably one that you're not that good at and that you neglect. Come on, we're all human. And there's probably the two that sit in the middle. Why do I say this now? Because while these games are independent, and I have to share this piece with you, while these games are independent, they are all connected. They are all connected. So if you're sitting there listening to this and you're thinking, well, it doesn't matter because my health's okay, I don't really care about these, you're missing the point big time. Because let me give you a metaphor. Each of these games is like an individual horse. And these horses are pulling a chariot, a golden chariot. And that golden chariot is your life. And these 4 horses are designed to take you wherever you have a desire to go. If you are nurturing them and you are paying attention to all 4, you'll get where you want to go. If you are neglecting any one of these games in your life, it's like neglecting one of those horses. It's either going to run off in the opposite direction or just do nothing. And then it doesn't matter how hard the other horses work, they cannot get you to where you want to go. It doesn't matter how hard you work in these, if there's one of them you're neglecting, you're limiting your experience of life. Does that make sense? Fantastic. So, what is the solution moving forward from here? What do we do next? If you are a person who is disillusioned, losing hope, completely and utterly done with the personal development merry-go-round, this is your solution. This is going to answer those questions that have remained unanswered for you for this whole time. And it's going to empower you to do what you wanted to do at the very beginning of this journey. And that is awaken your higher self. Be more peaceful. Enjoy life at a higher level. This is the perfect solution for you. If you are very successful and you're winning at life, you are majorly winning at life, this is the thing that takes you to the next level, because this is the way that you look in the deep corners and recesses of your inner world to uncover that stuff that's just hiding but is still holding you back. Now, because of the level of depth of this work, I will only do this one-on-one. This is no group setting here. And I've had a one-on-one coaching practice for about 7 or 8 years now. I actually closed it down 18 months ago to focus on the group work that I do, because I run different group programs, I run 2 retreats every single year, and I've written 5 books, and there's a lot going on. So the coaching practice is a real time-consuming piece, but I loved the work, so I was always called back to it. Now, as my team and I have come to the conclusive stages of this development of what we call Unlock Your Life, as we've got to this stage, I realised that this has to be one-on-one. I have to stand by your side and guide you through this. This is deep work, and I have to say that fills me with joy. So we could say that I'm coming out of one-on-one retirement, so to speak, to guide a handful of people through this process, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that if we invest that level of attention to it and that level of presence to it, everything will change. Now, because of the level of intimacy and the depth of this work, it is absolutely essential that I speak with you before you commit to coming into this work with me. Why? Because I want to make sure that you're set up to win, right? But I also want to make sure that you've understood this properly, that you're making an informed decision, that you are ready for this level of work. Because the truth is that not everyone is going to be. Not everyone is ready to live in their own magnificence. I think it was Marianne Williamson that said, the one thing that people are most scared of is their own magnificence. So if you're not ready, you're not ready. And I want to be absolutely sure before we commit to each other. So scroll down, there's a link, you book a call, we can have a one-on-one conversation together. If during the course of that conversation we're like, yes, you understand this, and I think this is great for you, we're then going to set you up to win. I'll go through the enrollment process with you, we'll get you checked in, we'll get you set up, we'll get all the information and resources that you need sent out to you immediately. We'll open a direct group between us in Telegram, so you have 24/7 communication with me at all times through this process. And we will go out there and start winning together. I'll see you on the other side.